Welcome to We Are Pius, the podcast where we celebrate the people, stories, and spirit that make Pius at 10th High School shine. I'm your host, Jeremy Eckler, and today we're celebrating something truly special in Thunderbolt athletics and something that's actually personal to me as well. This spring, the Pius 10th girls soccer team did what every program dreams of. They brought home the Class B state championship, and it was especially poignant because it was kind of the last event of the entire school year, and we wanted to make sure that didn't get overlooked. It's a great culmination to a great year. But it happened at, our seniors weren't even in the building, so it's a good chance to talk about this incredible run today. And it wasn't just a trophy season. It was a season defined by chemistry, grit, some late game heroics, and a belief that the state championship was going to happen. From the opening whistle of the postseason to the final moments of the state championship match, this team showed what happens when talent meets trust and when a group of athletes decides to play for something bigger than themselves. Today, I'm joined by two key members of that championship team, Haley Thomsen. Haley, thanks for being here. Yeah. And Chloe Kolm. Chloe, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to talk about the journey, the pressure moments, the training, the funny moments, the chemistry, whatever comes to mind through this conversation. And at the end, we'll do our lightning round. And like I said at the beginning, it's a little bit personal to me. I coached here at Pius from 02 to 07, the girls soccer program that won the last state championship. So in 2005, those girls won the state championship. It was the second of two. It was a back-to-back. It was the first of two. It was, let me think about that. 2005 would have been the last one. So it was the second of the back-to-back run, but it had been 21 years. And so people have been waiting and excited to see what this team could do. So Haley, let's start with you. When you look back at that championship run, at what point did you realize this team had something special? Was there something in the spring where you're like, I think we got it?
Yeah, I think going into the season, we all knew we were going to be a good team, and I think, in the back of our minds, we all knew that we could win. But I think that the spot where we all kind of knew, there was, a change about this team was in our first game against Southwest, which we ended up losing. But I think we all just used that as, motivation, going forward. We ended up winning the rest of our games that season, and we just, used that as, something that we could grow from. Yep. And from there, we honestly just never looked back. And I think that was kind of the changing point where we realized this team has something special.
Yeah, and a lot of great teams are going to point back to failure as being the springboard for what happens next. Matter of fact, we just put some soccer players, the Pete's sisters, so Carly and Annie, Allie and Katie, into the Hall of Fame. And a lot of what they talked about that Hall of Fame was the successes that came out of the failures. It was a loss here. It was the motivation of playing Omaha Scott or Marion. And I was at the Southwest game, incredibly hot. I remember that, very hot, on Seacrest, on the turf. And it was just a super gritty effort. You could tell it was all there. It just didn't come together on that particular day. So we fast forward. That was the first game of the season. You fast forward and you kind of get towards the postseason. Did anything change with you guys' mentality when it was sort of win or go home? Or were things steady?
Yeah, I think this team just did a really good job of focusing one game at a time. We had the conversations at practice of we know that the next game is not guaranteed. We're not guaranteed a spot in that game. Mm-hmm. And so we did do a really good job of just playing our hearts out every single game. And also I think with our team being so senior heavy, all of us seniors knew that any of these games could be our last. Yeah. And all the underclassmen knew that too. So I think that really helped us just play for each other. And then that led to us just playing as a team and then getting the outcomes we wanted.
Yeah. Chloe, anything you'd add or respond to from those thoughts?
I think we were pretty focused most of the season, but I think something really clicked as well right before state. We knew that if any year, this was going to be our year. And so we really locked in at practice and really focused because I know that's going to be the last game with my sister and with all the seniors especially. So I was I'm not going to let that happen.
Yeah, that's great. So as the pressure ratcheted up, first round, semifinals, finals, how did you guys keep steady, especially as leaders on the team? How did you keep everybody cool and focused on the prize and not caught up in the pressure or anxiety?
Just like Haley said, just focusing one game at a time really helped people stay composed because obviously nothing is guaranteed. So just reminding people to stay positive, work your hardest and good things come out of good efforts. Yeah,
I remember, I recall as a coach, the October, November, December workouts, and then the combine and the fitness testing in January, February. And it was at those points you kind of tell what your team was capable of. Did you guys leave the 5 season feeling like we've got what it takes for 2026, or did something happen during the season where you're like we absolutely have what it takes? Or did it happen during a workout or a practice? Or was it just a belief walking into the season that we can finish this thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think after the back-to-back championship losses, I think all of us just knew we did not want to lose again. That feeling is just so heartbreaking. Yes. So I mean, that was just really big motivation for us, and I think we knew we could get it done, and we did just that.
Yeah, good point. The year previous was Gretna East, right, which had just an incredible team and run, and the year prior to that was in Class A with Southwest, and that was heartbreaking on a lot of levels, right? But those are the things that you can grow from, and then you sort of get your opportunity because of the growth you had from those. So I remember standing on the sideline, Chloe. It's a state championship game, and the student section is going bonkers behind us, and it is kind of turning into panic on the field, on the pitch. What is going through your head? Let's say from 3 minutes till the clock finally goes. Is anything going through? Is it just hang on? What's going on in the last 3 minutes of a state championship game with a lead?
I mean, definitely with the younger classmen looking up to me, I try and stay calm. But in that moment, I've been through it so many times, especially sophomore year. We lost the game with 47 seconds left. So I was just trying to stay calm, but also just going through my mind was just get the ball out. Anything you have to do, just clear it. Put your body on the line, honestly.
Yeah. How about for you, Haley?
I mean, I think we all knew anything could happen in a short amount of time. We saw that in our first championship loss. So we all just knew we had to stay composed, and I think it really didn't hit me that we actually had won until there was probably 5 seconds left or something.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they could have found a way to score in that last minute. So yeah, I was just going hard all the way to the end. What
did that feel like then when it was over, when it was zeros? What was the first thing you remember, the first teammates you ran to? What was that like? Did you run to your sister? What was that like when it finally happened?
I think after every game, we always just run together as a team. It's not specific people. Obviously, after our whole team hugs, we individually hug each other. But just the moment coming together, it's just surreal. It doesn't even feel real that it even happened. So it's just great to celebrate with your team all together, and you did it together. It wasn't just one person who won the game for you. It's all of us together.
Very nice. Anything you'd add? That final moment?
Yeah. Also just say just being embraced by my teammates, that's just something I'll never forget. Us just having that moment together. And then also our coaches, even running onto the field after that, when I found them, that was also just a really big moment too.
Yeah. And even your parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I saw some of your dads. I won't name names, but there were some tears in the crowd because they've seen what each of you has overcome individually with health and the training and the hard work, and then as a team, right? To just get so close. And I think as a father to daughters who are here, and one of whom is in the soccer program, just as a freshman, watching that journey culminate that way has to be just incredible. So yeah, it was your teammates, it was your coaches, and then up in the stands, a lot of emotion as well. Well, we kind of led off with all the good feels from the state championship, which is proper, but that didn't happen by accident. We need to talk a little bit about how this whole thing was built, how you develop this culture and all of these habits of excellence. So can you just tell us a typical week in March or April? What does a typical week of training look like for the soccer program?
Practice every day, obviously around 2 hours. Usually it includes possession, shooting, kind of both offense and defense, because you can't just do one. It takes both to win a game. And so, yeah, just showing up to practice and working hard every day. I think that's what a typical week looks like. Nothing too special.
A couple matches a week typically, because you guys finish with how many total matches?
18.
Yeah. Yep.
And then also, I think even, at practices every week, even if we had a game, it was always, focusing on, what things needed fixed from that previous game, and then, talking about what needed to be fixed going into the next game. That was also a big piece of that.
How would you describe, behind the scenes? Everybody sees you on the field doing your thing, but behind the scenes, what's the identity of the group? What's the personalities like? Is it a loose group? Is it a funny group? Is it a serious business group? What do people not see behind the scenes with all this training and work and on the bus rides and everything?
I think this group is a group that we really like to have a lot of fun. But, at the same time, we also know when we need to get focused. There will be times at practice where we'll be kind of joking around, we play games and stuff. But then when it comes to drills where we need to make sure we're focusing on what the coaches are saying. Like, we all know, like, when those moments are, like, necessary.
That's good. Yeah, that's great. Anything you'd add, Chloe? Yeah.
Yeah, just also, like, holding each other accountable. Like, this group, I'd say, is one of the most groups who, like, we definitely had a lot more fun than we did a lot of the times because we were, like, so close, just because we were all close in age and all friends because we played club together or whatever. But holding each other accountable, I think, really helped, like, stay focused and, like, keep our identity because, like, if you lose focus too fast, well, that's how, like, bad things happen.
Yeah, things crumble. And, I mean, you make such an important leadership point, too. Great teams have peer accountability. You know, if you two aren't seeing eye to eye on something, you don't have to go to coach. You talk to each other, and that's how things get done so much more quickly. And you keep drama. I'm like a big fan of anytime we've got 3 people in a discussion, we need to get back to 2. Like 2 people need to talk to each other, and that leadership point's a huge one. And maybe it kind of leads into this thought I'm having too. Haley, you were talking about falling just short in 2025, in 2024. Did this team do anything different because of those experiences, or was this team, and maybe even compared to your club teams, what made this one a little bit different to get over that hump?
Yeah, I would also just go back to the point of, like, knowing how close this team was. Like, there was, I think a majority of this championship team was on, like, both of those teams that lost. So, again, like, that being motivation. And then, like, knowing, like, when things needed to be fixed, too, was a really big part of this team. I think there was, like, a stretch this season where we had, like, a struggle, like, even just through some games, practices, and scrimmages that we had. Like, we knew, like, something needed to be fixed. And it wasn't just something, like, one person said it to the coach. Like, we all brought it up within, like, the team, and it got fixed within, like, a few days through, like, team bondings and stuff.
Yeah,
and
I mean, you go keep going, sorry.
So, yeah, just, like, us taking accountability as, like, an entire team to, like, acknowledge, like, something like that. Like, that was big.
That's huge. That's another huge leadership point. I hope that the younger players and athletes and people listening, so we talked about peer-to-peer accountability, but also honesty about what's not working so we can fix it. I mean, I think there's a lot of cultures where we let that stuff go, and eventually it catches up to us. The hard conversations are always coming. So they need to be addressed as soon as possible. I love both of those things. And when we talk about some of that, those little road bumps, you're not playing as well. And I remember one of the interesting things about Pius, especially when you have a dominant team, is like you can win a match 3-0, and people are like, "Why wasn't it 5 or 6?" I mean, and it's soccer. Like scoring 1 or 2 is pretty great. But why didn't we win by 5 or 6? When you're going through those tough times, and maybe even the outside world was saying you guys aren't playing as well as you should, who are some of the voices, especially amongst the players, that kept everybody level, that stepped up and kind of said, guys, we're okay? Who are those strong voices on the team this year?
I think our 3 captains, which was Kate, Chloe, and Emily, they all just did a really good job of, like, making sure we stayed composed, especially, like, at halftime. Like, they were always the ones to step up and, like, talk about what needed to be fixed and how we can just continue to play our game.
Yeah, that's really good. Chloe?
I felt like as a captain, it was my job, but not only, like, the captains, just the seniors in general. Like, they play just as big a role as the captains do. Like, a captain just wears an armband and talks to the ref, but the seniors in general, like, it's our job to do that.
That's amazing. Yeah, that level of accountability, that willingness to address the hard things so you can get to the ultimate goal, those are huge. But really the biggest thing is the reason we exist here is our faith here at Pius. And what makes our programs unique is that we're always playing for a greater purpose. And I noticed some of the girls had things written on their leg. When I coached, we used to put our purpose on our hand. Our faith is a foundation of everything. How did the faith interact with what you're doing this season? Not just interact, but like inform and really drive what you're doing this season. And then what were your guys' purposes, and what were some of the purposes for all the efforts?
Yeah, I mean, like, I know as, like, a Catholic school, we know that, like, our faith is going to be one of the biggest pieces of, like, our team. And I think it really did show this season. Even just, like, the way it shows in our program, like, where we get to meet in the chapel as a team before every single game, where somebody talks about the faith. And then, like, just having those opportunities to, like, pray as a team, like, that's so special. And even, like, before, I think it was the state semifinal game, where Becca Alec came and talked to us at our chapel. Like, she even just hit the points of, like, knowing that, like, win or lose, like, we have God on our side. And, like, no matter what, we were going to praise him. And, like, that was just such a big point this season.
Yeah, it's huge. Chloe, anything else with the prayer and the faith component? Who was your chaplain? Did you guys have Father Reimers, of course? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you had chaplain. We had the chapels, the faith component. Anything else that you would add?
I feel like I just really agree with the chapel part. Like, I think it really helped us. A lot of teams don't get to do that. Even here at Pius, like, I feel like that's something super special to, like, girls soccer, because not a lot of times people can go quickly before a game, but we always make it work. Like, even if there's other people in there, we make the efforts to go in there. And especially as a senior, like, we give the talks. We have to come up with a speech, and I think it just really is a good reminder to, like, live through God on the field.
Yeah, that's excellent. And I think, soccer is emotional, like we talked about. You can do everything right and lose 1-0 because you hit 2 crossbars or whatever. Like, staying grounded, staying steady, having the faith component is huge in the rest of your life. And I think the sport is a really good lesson for what comes at you next as well. The faith is one piece. The Pius legacy is another. 70 years of athletic excellence. A lot of family ties, sisters, parents, all these connections of Pius. What did it mean to be one of the elite in Pius history, to wear the green and gold and to hold the state championship trophy up in front of your classmates and friends and family?
I mean, it's so special. I think also just knowing, like, the community we have behind us. Like, we were representing something way bigger than just, like, our team. Like, it was the whole Pius community. And just, like, the way we, like, shared our faith, too, throughout the season, like, that was big. And, like, knowing every single time I put on that jersey, like, there's a cross on that, too. Like, that's such a good, just, like, reminder of what we're playing for.
Yeah, it's excellent. How about for you, Chloe, just wearing the green and gold and representing Pius?
I think another thing is, at least me, I don't know about anyone else, but I took for granted sophomore and junior year. Like, most people can't even make it to the championship, and I was disappointed that we lost, like, both years. But just even, like, getting the opportunity to do that and represent Pius is something that most people can't experience. Like, a lot of teams don't even make it to state. And so I think this last year especially, like, it really, like, hit me that I need to, like, take my time and really, like, enjoy the moment, because it doesn't last forever, and it's super special just because obviously next year we won't be wearing the green and gold, so it was sad just taking it off, wearing it one last time. Yeah,
savor it. It goes so fast. Speaking of that, if you could give one message to, like, someone entering the program or a freshman or sophomore in the program, what sort of advice would you give them, having made the state championship run and having, now said goodbye to wearing the jersey?
I would just say, like, make the most of every moment. Like, just, like, the bus rides, practices, games, like, all of it. Like, it's going to be the best years of your life, and, like, to not take that for granted.
It's great. Anything you'd add?
Just be confident, like, be who you are. Don't change for, like, even if you don't make varsity, like, the first year. Like, I mean, we didn't make varsity our first year, and we still had a great experience the rest of the 4 years. So just doing what's best for the team.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, too. I think this much talent on a single roster with this much success, everyone wants to be a part of that the first moment they step into Pius. It's 13 or 14-year-old freshmen, they want to come in. But taking your time and learning, and then taking every setback as an opportunity for growth is really what's going to get you there in the end. And so I guess as we look, I was thinking about you guys, too, and thinking about, okay, we just put one of our soccer teams in the Hall of Fame, that first state championship team. We put the Pete sisters in the Hall of Fame for soccer. And I was thinking on the sideline during your match, down the road, your guys are going to be put in the Hall of Fame. I mean, it's going to come. I mean, I don't know if you realize the significance of that. There's very few state championship champions and even fewer in the Hall of Fame. What do you hope people remember about this team in 5 or 10 or 15 years? Like, can you imagine yourself standing at the podium for the Hall of Fame? And, like, what do you think you want people to remember about this team?
I think this team specifically, I think I want people to remember that, like, we were a team that, like, played more for, like, just ourselves. Like, we played for, like, our school and, like, representing, like, our faith. And, like, we just did such a good job of playing for each other. And I think that's what I want people to remember. Like, we didn't just come here just to win games. Like, we came for, like, a way bigger purpose. It was, like, playing for each other and for our school.
That's great. That's really good.
I was going to say the, like, friendships and memories that we made. Like, obviously winning state is amazing, but the thing I'm going to remember most is, like, the friendships I made and, like, the amazing coaches that I had, because without them, like, this wouldn't be possible.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's awesome. Congratulations on an absolutely incredible season. It's just representing us so well. And personally, a thank you too, because it had been 21 years since the last state championship team, and standing on that sideline watching it and getting text messages from former players from 20 years ago who are now, professionals and moms. And I just like, this is so cool. They were so invested and so happy to hand the trophy off to you in a way. For 21 years, it's been us. We are so proud that this is the team, because they overcame adversity. This is the team that wins the next state championship. So congrats, and thanks for honoring everybody so well. Are you ready for the lightning round? Should we do it?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it. Lightning round. We're going to rattle off 6 questions and just get to learn a little bit more about you. People love the lightning round. So the first one, Chloe, we'll start with you. Who is your favorite saint?
My favorite saint is St. Mary Magdalene.
Oh, nice. Very good. Why is that? I know it's lightning round, but sometimes I ask why.
In first grade, we have to do a saint parade, and that's who I got chosen.
Okay.
Like, they chose that for me, so it's just been my saint ever since, my confirmation saint. So It's just someone who stuck with me.
She kind of chose you. That's amazing. Haley, how about you?
My favorite saint is Saint Carlo Acutis. I think he's just like a really good saint to like relate to. He shows like how to use your faith in every day, and he's also like always pictured with a soccer ball, which I thought is really fitting.
That's really good. We're doing the new chapel, and we're looking at statues, and I've seen statues of Carlo with a soccer ball. I'm like, that'd be pretty cool statue. I just read a quote by him too. Everyone is born as an original, but too many die as a photocopy. And I was like, man, that has really resonated with me. That's a great pick. Both great picks. All right, now we're on the spot, and we'll start with Haley. Favorite Bible verse?
My favorite Bible verse is Isaiah 66:9, and it says, "Do I bring the moment of birth and not deliver?" And it's kind of spoken in my life, and like it hits the point of like knowing that like God's gonna bring me like through pain, and like He doesn't do that just like for not giving me like something in the end. And so it kind of shows like I went through 2 knee surgeries, and then like in the end like He brought us to the state championship, and like looking back I'm like that was the reasoning why.
How much sweeter was it because of what you'd endured?
It was so much better. Like, it's crazy to even think about. Like, I didn't even know if I was ever going to get a chance to step back onto the field. And, like, knowing that I got to step back onto the field and win a state championship, like, that just means so much more.
And I think one thing you may not recognize yet, maybe you do, there are younger players who are going through injuries, and the fact that they see an inspiration. My daughter's one of them right now. She's got fractures in her back. She wants to be she wanted to contribute this year at some level, in some way. When you spoke at Restore, I mean, that resonated with her, that journey. So not just what happened to you, but what I think the message to the other girls as well. It's an awesome one. Chloe, how about you?
My favorite Bible verse is Philippians 4:13. It says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." And I feel like just knowing that God has your back no matter what, and He doesn't give you battles that He knows you can't persevere and like get through. And so just knowing that He gives us the strength to conquer anything is just really like cool to me.
That's amazing. Yep, it's a good one too, and that's a favorite of a lot of athletes, and for good reason, for sure. We love praying. We love praying with and for each other here. So who knows how many millions of people will listen to this podcast? But for all those listening, who or what are you praying for so we can join you in prayer? How about you, Haley?
I think I've been praying for like going back to people that are struggling with injuries like me. It is hard, and so just praying for them that they get through it like I did.
Yeah, very good. Chloe?
I'd say just like the poor, because I hate seeing people like struggle and like go through things. So even if like one small prayer you might not think does a lot, but it can do a lot for some people.
Absolutely. And there's so many types of poverty, I think, today in the culture. There's loneliness, isolation, obviously income, hunger, food. So yeah, all the poor and vulnerable. We'll join you in those prayers as well. Chloe, who is your hero?
Soccer specifically, I'd say my dad. He's been like one of my biggest supporters throughout everything, and just seeing him after the state final, like I can just picture it all the time, and it's just like, wow, I'm so lucky.
Yeah, beautiful. Haley?
I would also say my dad. Like, he's just walked with me every step of this journey, like especially like through my recoveries. And I think because of him, like he's one of the big reasons I was able to come back to soccer, and like now I get to play in college. And, like, I think he wanted this championship as much as we did. So, like, getting to experience that. Yeah.
That's true.
So just getting to experience that with him, like, it's so special.
Yeah. And this is certainly the disclaimer that no knock on moms here. Moms are amazing and part of the journey for sure. But I do love the dad answer because I would love for my own kids to say something like that one day, right? That's awesome. What is one thing you would like the Thunderbolt community to know about the girls' soccer program? So one of the things we're really trying to do here at this We Are Pius movement is make people understand that Pius is accessible to everyone. And people can come from anywhere to be part of this program. We had kids on this program and in the school come from out of town to be part of it. What would you like the Thunderbolt community to know about the girls' soccer program, Chloe?
Just how welcoming we are. Like, sometimes we can be intimidating when we are really focused and locked in, but just that we open everybody with open like arms and stuff. Like, Molly was new this year, and I feel like she got along great. She came all the way from York every single day at practice, and we're like, okay, you're crazy, but we're glad you're here.
Yeah, what a payoff for her. And yeah, you guys welcomed her so quickly. Yeah, that's like an hour drive every day. Yeah, incredible commitment. Haley?
I would want people to know I'd want the Thunderbolt community to know just like how well this team focuses on their faith throughout the whole season. I think it was just such a big part. Like, praying before practices, every game, after every game. Like, it was a really big part of this team, and I think that really helped us this season.
That's awesome. Those are great answers. Well, congratulations one more time on just an incredible season and, just representing us so well. So thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now we're going to move to an outro. So I'm going to read something. And at the end, I'm going to get to this point where I say, it's not on the script, but do your best to, then I'm going to say, restore all things in Christ. And I'm going to have you guys join me for the last, restore all things in Christ, we'll say together. Does that make sense? So I'll say,
the prayer.
I'm Jeremy Eckler. See you next time. And remember to do your best to restore all things
in Christ.
It'll be like that, okay?
Okay.
And that'll be the last thing people hear, is all of us talking together.
Okay.
It didn't come over on this copy, so I'm just going to make sure I don't miss it. So outro, you ready? The Pius X Girls Soccer Team 2026 Class B State Champions. A season defined not just by wins and trophies, but by resilience, unity, and a group of athletes who learned how to trust each other completely. From the first match of the season to the final whistle of the state championship game, you represented Pius X High School with heart, humility, and grit. Haley Thomsen and Chloe Kolm, thank you for sharing your story, and congratulations on an unforgettable season. And to everyone listening, thank you for joining us on this episode of We Are Pius. If you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to follow, rate, and share the podcast. Stay proud, stay faithful, and stay Thunderbolt strong. And do your best to restore all things in Christ. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.